All right, I got a new drug for you today. Quarterfinal times, what I got for you. I don't know what you got. I don't really care what you got. I got the quarters. USA, Brazil. I would say today, the two most well-known teams in Olympic U.S. teams in Olympic competition, the women's national soccer team and the men's basketball team. I think they're probably the two most well-known. Certainly mega successful teams both played today. The women did you see the women with a narrow 1-0 win?
Over Germany.
Very narrow win for the women. So that was in the semis, by the way.
That's right.
So they play for the gold against either Brazil or Spain. Meanwhile, the men play hoop against Brazil right now. They lead 40-23 midway through the second. Does Oscar Schmidt still play for Brazil? You remember him?
I don't.
You don't remember that name?
I don't remember him.
Did I say it? Oscar Schmidt? He played for Brazil for about 100, played right at 100 years for him. He was on the U.S.
No idea who that is.
Really?
No idea.
Am I getting the name wrong? Hang on. I got to look that up.
You mean Pele? I've heard of Pele.
Very nice, very nice. I think it's Oscar. I think it's Oscar, but it's pronounced Oscar Schmidt. Listen, I'm dropping all of it. I came right out of the gate with that.
What was his jersey number?
That I don't know. 10. That I don't know. Oscar Schmidt.
Do not know him.
Yeah, so I think he played for Brazil forever.
I'm going to have to brush up on my Brazilian basketball
history, yeah, for sure. So, but we'll update you on the game again. The Americans lead, I said 40, is 40-26 now. A 14-point lead over Brazil. No word whether Oscar Schmidt still plays, or for that matter, whether he's still alive.
He is alive.
He is alive, okay.
So that I'm happy to report that. He's 66.
Okay, so
he stopped playing a very long time
so
ago. 2003 was his last year with Flamengo.
Okay, so there you go, Oscar Schmidt. He's 66 now. So my guess, as JJ confirmed, he's not playing anymore.
Could he defect and be on our 3-on-3 team?
Yes, and would make them better.
Brazil.
And would make them better. That's fantastic. So Oscar is 66. Wow, I did not know that. I did have a hunch he didn't play anymore, but I didn't know it had been that long.
Does it bother you that they say their names differently?
No.
Like James?
No. I take some pride in saying Oscar Schmidt.
I was
racing down the hall to do
by that.
I was doing this racing down the hall to do the show today so I could say that. So there's that. So anyway, the current they got it to 11 now, 40-29, a little bit of a drought for the Americans. And there's a missed three by Drew Holiday, who's probably the 78th best shooter in America. So let's put him on the Olympic team. So, but we'll up to 40-29 is the score. 4 or so to play in the first half, and we'll continue to update you on that. A little bit of a run by the Brazilians, though. It was 40-23 when I started watching. Hays, it's now 40-31. So it's 8 in a row. So we'll talk about that. Let's talk some football today. I thought or two about the Jaguars. Devon Hamilton, a guest. You've really liked him at camp. I have too. He's had a good camp, hasn't he?
He has. Since the pads have gone on, he's been excellent every day. And it's not a real surprise because he was dominant. He's really been Mr. August as a Jaguar. He's had a number of great camps here. It's just never translated into a great season. Now, last year, obviously, he had the unfortunate back medical injury that really pretty much cost him the whole year because I don't think he ever really got back into form. And so now I think is another opportunity for Devon Hamilton to parlay an incredible training camp into an incredible season. And if that happens, this defense is well on its way.
You got some news? A few cuts today, you said?
Yeah, so the Jaguars have signed safety Adrian Amos and defensive tackle Jonathan Marshall, and they have released Adam Gotsis, who's been here for a while, and Gregory Jr., draft pick from a couple years ago at corner. So released Gotsis, who's obviously been sort of a versatile defensive lineman for them, but usually more tackle. And Gregory Jr., who that's a wave injury, so but he will not be in the plans for this year.
Yeah, and Gregory Jr. is one of they drafted a lot of defensive backs in the last handful of years, and they weren't all going to be on the team. Christian Braswell more recently, Monteric Brown the year before that, Greg Jr. the same year. So one of those guys were going to get cut. You know what? I'll say this. Adam Gotsis has been a good Jaguar. You know that? He's filled in for a lot of hurt guys in there. He's never been a great player, but he's been a try-hard, better than average player. Would you agree with that?
I would.
He's been a better than average defensive lineman for the Jags. So sorry to see him go, but hopefully guys that get cut now this early, with only really before the true preseason has even begun beyond the Hall of Fame game, guys that get cut this early maybe have a chance to catch on. So hopefully that happens. Adam's a good guy, so hopefully that happens with him. We'll talk some football news. Fox has announced its broadcast teams. I'm going to get your thought on it. How do you think? How's Tom Brady going to do? Yeah, I know you're not an announcer guy, but what are your expectations for Tom Brady?
I think he's going to be outstanding in this role. I mean, I think obviously the way he sees the game, the way he approaches the quarterback position, the way he can break down what a defense is trying to do. I think Tom Brady, if he's willing to be critical, that's always my first question for any analyst. Are you willing to be critical when it's called for? You don't have to stand on the table and insult somebody, but can you be critical of their play when it's required? And so many athletes just don't seem to be willing to go there, which I understand, but then don't take that job if everything's just going to be the greatest thing that you've ever seen. So, but I think Brady is got a good handle on that, and I think he's going to be critical when called for. That's the key, because that's the one thing you just don't know. But in terms of how he sees the game, I don't know that anybody could be more prepared. Two things about being critical. A, do you have the credibility to pull it off? And B, the willingness to do it. That, to your point. Well, obviously, nobody will ever go into a booth with more credibility. I mean, shy of Babe Ruth coming back to life and going into the baseball booth with Joe Davis, no one's ever going to have more credibility. I mean, Michael Jordan is the guy that would have as much credibility. And so that's which is why I wondered all along, is he too big for this? I've said all along, is he too big to be just an analyst on games? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, but we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later. I got some fun stuff I want to get to. The NFL had a Zoom call, and have it on tape too, for those of us that work in the league in some capacity. In my case, play-by-play, and our folks at Jaguar Digital did a good job of making sure we all had that. And it's about the new rules. Now, there's always a bunch of rules, and Walt Anderson, the head of officials, longtime referee, I kind of took everybody through it. This kickoff rule, the components of it are crazy. I learned more about that thing than I don't think anybody totally understands the case. And I'm going to go through some of it. I made as many notes as I could. I'll get some of it wrong. But I'm going to go through as much of it as I can. But the two big things of all the rule changes, there's some little things that subtle but important. Now, if you get a challenge right, you still retain both your challenges. I think before you retained one. But the hip drop tackle and the new kickoff are the two big things. And I'm telling you, Hays, the kickoff rules, do you realize there's 3 potential touchbacks? Did you realize that? I did not.
There's 3 potential touchbacks, and I'm going to go through it. But one brings it out to the 20, one to the 30, one to the 40. I just thought touchback comes out to the 30. There's 3 potential touchbacks based on where the ball lands. It's crazy. And so I'll go through stuff. It's really good stuff, and I appreciate the NFL making that available to our friends at Jaguar Digital and Jaguar Broadcast, so we'll get to that. I got a lot of topics for today. Who has a better program right now? A better program. Now, and I'm going to expound on the question a bit. Florida State or Clemson? Not who's got the better team this year and last year.
Florida State.
Is their program better?
Yes.
I'm going to talk about that today. I would probably say that too. But if I'm Clemson guy, I'm wondering, really? Are they? And I'm going to compare some of the games and kind of where they've both been. But that's a cool question because they are, without question, the two kings of the ACC. And there's, with due respect to Miami and North Carolina and the others, there's nobody close to where those, in my opinion.
Big gap between those two and whoever you want to place.
That's right. So we'll certainly get to that coming up on the program today as well. We talked about the Olympics, some of the stuff that's going on in the Olympic Games. 21 in a row, JJ, for the White Sox, for those Chicago White Sox now. The Pale Hose have lost 21 straight games.
Pretty impressive. I got to give it to them. It's tough to do that, but I turned on the highlights yesterday and I saw they booted a ball the second baseman did in the first inning. You know, they're overrunning balls in the outfield. Benintendi's just not going for balls. It's pretty good stuff.
Maybe the problem is we're coddling these guys.
Yes, we're being too nice to them. Change the plane.
But I was thinking about it. Taylor walked. You and I were talking to Taylor earlier. The Cubs play them coming up this weekend, and she made a great point. Right now, you don't want to be the team that plays them.
Oh, it's the worst.
You don't want to play them right now because they're going to
so much pressure.
They're beating somebody.
They're
right?
going to come out of this and then win 6 of 9. That's just how sports
baseball.
Well, I think the Athletics, who've been the worst team in baseball for 3 or 4 years now, had the best record. Didn't they have the best record in July, or one of the best 2 or 3 records? And just so it can
Certainly
happen.
Their offense was the best.
Yeah. So
one of them.
So they've been better of late. So I got a lot of things to talk about today on the program. We'll start our National College Football Insider today. We do it every week. It's brought to you by our friends at Woolsey and Markham. And we're going to start, since FSU plays first, with our friend Ira Schofel. Ira was on with me a couple weeks ago when you were out. But I want to know where the Noles are. Nervous a little bit about Georgia Tech. He and I talked about that game.
Yeah.
And how camp's gone as they come to Jacksonville. But what they do in Jacksonville is really cool.
That is.
They go to
this is like the 3rd straight year?
Yeah, and
maybe even 4th.
And they go to those little they don't go on the big field at UNF. They go to this shaded little field. It's a cool thing to go out there. So we'll talk some FSU football coming up. But that's with Ira Schofel, who stops by today at 5 o'clock. Let's take a break. We'll kick it off with some Jaguar talk. Thoughts about practice. How much do they need to hit another team, play another team? And you're going to hear from Devon Hamilton. That's the Hays Carlyon one-on-one. It all comes up in a bit. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show
from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update. Brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Westin Hotels and Resorts. Find wellness at Westin. The U.S. men's basketball team is underway in their quarterfinal matchup with Brazil. Right now with 6.5 to go in the second quarter, the U.S. is on top, 40-21. Gabby Thomas of the U.S. took home gold in the women's 200 meters with a time of 21.83. Her teammate Brittany Brown finished 3rd for the bronze. American Annette Echekwoke won silver in her first Summer Games appearance in the women's hammer throw. Canada's Cameron Rogers, who was a 3-time NCAA champion at Cal, won the gold. U.S. women's soccer team advanced to the gold medal match with a 1-0 extra time win over Germany. Sophia Smith's 3rd goal of the games was the difference for the U.S. The Americans will face either Spain or Brazil on Saturday. And the women's water polo team is on to the semifinals after a 5-4 win over Hungary. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Jaguars fans, the 2024 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Kansas City Chiefs Saturday, August 10th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field. The Jaguars have won it! You won't want to miss a second of the action. Grab your tickets for the 7 p.m. kick by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Every weekend is a Stone Cold Sports Weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for the Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm 5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. That means Nimnick Chevrolet, which is located on Cassett Avenue at Park, and Nimnick Buick GMC is located at Phillips Highway. I'm going in there tomorrow to pick up a truck, as a matter of fact. So I promise you, I trust my friends at Nimnick, and you should as well. If you want to a car that you can trust, a truck that you can trust, new or used, nobody does a better job. And I mean that sincerely to my friends at Nimnick. There's a reason I have visited Nimnick on a regular basis, and it's where I get my cars and where I've always gotten them, where I'm going to continue to get my cars. Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassett, Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway, and certainly happy to be a spokesman for Nimnick, and I have been really for the longest time. We're gonna hear from Devon Hamilton in a second here, Hays. But I got thinking about this, and I thought about it even before you told us today that Adam Gotsis was cut. Adam Gotsis had to play a lot in recent years. He's an okay player, a good Jaguar. But when you get to where you want to be, Adam Gotsis probably isn't in the mix, right? I mean, that's reality. So I'm looking at this defensive interior. I mean, the two guys that play inside, not the edge guys. This team this year, Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead, I'm thinking will be the starters when everybody's healthy, but Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead, Roy Robertson Harris, Mason Smith, Tyler Lacey, Jordan Jefferson, that is 6 players that they either drafted or signed prominently in free agency that they really like. Now, that's 6 guys for 2 spots. You don't see that very often. They also have some other guys, this Otomewo, I hope I'm saying it right, Otomewo, the former player from University of Minnesota, is a guy I think they like as well. All of a sudden, there are numbers at that spot.
Without a doubt, and there needs to be. I mean, again, you're going to be wanting to rotate those guys through. You'd love for Devon and for Armstead to really only give you probably 35, 40 snaps a game. It tops. And obviously for Devon, because, I mean, with him, it may even be fewer, depending on the opponent in terms of run versus pass. But you want to be able to have that fresh rotation and not really have much of a drop-off. And that's where Mason Smith becomes such a big piece to this whole thing, because most second-round defensive tackles would be starting. That's just it. In most teams, not all, but most teams, if you take a defensive tackle in the second round, you probably penciling him as a starter. Well, he's not a starter here. He's not even pushing for that, and which is fine. If Mason Smith can excel in a 15, 20 snap a game role, then he could really be an impactful player immediately for the Jaguars. You talked about, Lacey, who they've praised throughout the offseason, and Jordan Jefferson, who has, I think, really impressed people with just his power, kind of similar to Devon. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to be able to rotate those guys through, and it looks like from an interior standpoint, and again, that also allows you to play Armstead a little bit more on the edge if you'd like to go that route. So that's a very important piece of this roster build.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Having said all that, none of the others are more important than Devon Hamilton. He's a 2-gap guy. He was really coming into his own last year when he had the difficult health situation. He is totally healthy now. He's had a very good camp, and he's the subject of this Hays Carlyon one-on-one.
We are pleased to be joined with Jaguars defensive tackle Devon Hamilton here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, good to practice today. So
it was spirited. The defense got after it today, it looked like.
Oh, yeah. That's what we got to be every single day. So that's the goal for us.
It seems like that's been a theme throughout camp. Are you pleased with the overall strides the defense has made?
Oh yeah, I mean we're getting improvements. We're working on our craft a lot. We just got to keep on enhancing it every single day, knowing that it's important for us to be the most dominant on the field.
You've obviously gotten your power back. It seems from watching you in one-on-ones against Morris and guys like that. How do you feel like that element of your game is coming around, Devon?
I feel great. I feel 100% healthy. I feel 100% myself, and I'm just excited to get out there this season and really show what I can do again, man.
It seems like very productive. Are you happy with kind of the strides that you've made, and what are some things that you've been working on in this camp?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with what I'm doing, but I got to get so much better. I mean, this is a league where you just got to keep on improving. I'm not away from that at all. So things I just need to work on still. Just really all the basic stuff. Just once I get that all locked down, I feel like I'm gonna be really good this year.
How do you feel like you fit with Coach Nielsen's scheme?
I think I fit very well. I mean, our scheme is a lot of attacking, a lot of knocking the line of scrimmage back. So that's what I do.
It's been a great camp for the defense in terms of turnovers. Andre has 3 picks today. What have you seen out of him?
Oh, he's been doing great. I mean, he's been able to read the ball very well and get his hand on the ball. So, I mean, anytime we can do that as defense, we're going to win some games off of that.
It seems like you guys have elite talent at every level of the defense. Yourself, you got Trayvon, you got Josh, obviously you got Foye, got Tyson, Andre. Do you feel like this has the potential to be a really special group?
For sure. I mean, we always had the talent. I feel like we just need to put it together and play as a unit. I think that's our biggest goal this year, is just play it together, work together, and then win together.
Does it feel good to be kind of getting into almost a game week routine where you got the first game Saturday and then you'll have, the joint practices, and does it make it a little easier to get through it?
It definitely makes it a little bit better. Camp can sometimes get a little bit monotonous and, the same stuff every day. So I'm excited to break it up a little bit, kind of feel a game week again, and get back in that routine again.
What was it like for you, coming out here when the pads went on and seeing your power translate, back to what you're used to? And I mean, Mitch Morse has played a lot of good football in this league, and it seems like in those drills you're doing a pretty good job of getting him moving backwards.
It feels pretty good. Like I said, I mean, I've been doing well, but I still have so much to improve on. So I don't know. I'm just really excited to see where I'm going to head, where my potential is.
What have you seen out of Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen as they kind of come off a very good season, unbelievable year for Josh, and a good year for Trayvon last year?
I just see a lot of confidence from him. I know Trayvon was a little bit younger last year, and he's still learning the game and whatnot, but now I just feel like he's getting in his zone. He's able to feel the offense, able to pass rush very well, able to read a lot of offense, so I think he's just improving every day.
What's it like going up against Mitch Morse, a guy that's obviously done it in this league for a very long time? Are there any kind of tips, pointers that he can give you, since he's obviously got a lot of savvy?
Yeah, I feel like it's just iron sharpening iron. I mean, I give him a little pointers on how defensive tackles look at stuff, and he gives me a lot of pointers on how centers are trying to set and what they're trying to do, what are they trying to manipulate, It's just been very good for me. I always like learning from a vet that has played a lot of ball, so I can learn from him.
What's a normal day look like for you? Like once you get done with practice, today's different. We got the storm and everything like that. But on a normal day, what is sort of your routine?
After practice, I try to get in the cold tub, try to get stretched out, and eat some dinner, and then not dinner, lunch, but and then go into meetings. There's a lot of meetings usually in the afternoon, and we got our walkthrough at the end of the day and start it all over again, basically.
And then you get to see the family at night. How are they doing? You got the little one?
Yeah, I've been able to see him a few times, not every night though, but he's doing well. He's getting bigger, walking around now, so I'm very excited about that. Don't have to carry him too much, so that's been very good. My wife's been doing well. They actually just went back to Ohio to see their parents and whatnot, so I'm excited.
Devon Hamilton, so good to see you out there playing great football again. I know the fans are really excited, and thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Devon Hamilton, 27 years old, doesn't turn 28 until February 1st, so it's time for him, to launch into that stratosphere of becoming a very good player in this league and being recognized around the league for that. And I think it's coming. I think this is going to be the year for Devon. I think it would have happened last year, and he had the back issue. But I think you're going to see a really strong season out of Devon Hamilton. If his camp is any indicator, he's going to be basically a close to dominant player in terms of being hard to move. He's never going to be a big stat guy because that's not what he's asked to do. But in terms of being able to fortify that spot and allow the other guys to make plays, Devon Hamilton is a crucial part to that defensive plan. And I think he's going to shut down some guys this year.
Yeah, and you said something interesting that I think is dead on. I do think the fans know his story. Mm-hmm. He told it very, very candidly when it was time to tell it, and he's. I think they're excited to see him back. A nose guard doesn't always get that much attention. I agree with you though. That's a good take on him. It's going to be good to see Devon. And again, that's a good line, man. I mean, those interior guys. I'll do it again. Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead, Roy Robertson-Harris, Mason Smith, Tyler Lacey, Jordan Jefferson. That's 6 guys that they either drafted or signed prominently in free agency, all at the same spot. Now, that doesn't mean the young ones are all going to be good players, but I can tell you there's none of those 6 that anyone down there is thinking, might have missed on that guy. You know that? Now, again, some just got here, but there aren't many, so it'll be fun to see. Let's take a break. When we come back, Hays has headlines. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Hey gang, Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, it is hot outside this time of the year. Many of us are staying inside or going to the pool. Well, my friends at Zero Res are also heating things up. As you know, Zero Res does a great job of cleaning carpets and rugs. But they also clean luxury vinyl planking, tile and grout, fine stone and hardwood floors. And right now, the hottest price of the year, 25% off all hardwood cleaning. That's 25% off tile, LVP, fine stone, and hardwood floors. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backward. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
911, what's your emergency?
Help, we don't have air conditioning.
Ma'am, 911 is for emergencies only.
Well, my husband's trying to stuff himself in the refrigerator.
I see. Well, maybe you should call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
To get him out of the fridge?
To get a new AC system.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. For service, repairs to new installations, trust the Duck. DuckDuckAC.com.
This is Frank Frangie. Join Dan Hicken and me for All Things Gators, our podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Monday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gators podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hays. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3-putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year one. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
For a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th at Daytona, answer this question. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API-SP test limits.
The Reggie Hunt Memorial Golf Classic fundraiser golf tournament is Friday, October 25th at Amelia River Golf Club. All proceeds support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Register at the Big Brothers Big Sisters events page.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
New Jaguars wide receiver edition, Gabe Davis is looking forward to Saturday's preseason opener against the Kansas City Chiefs for more reasons than just football.
It'll be dope. Like I said, my mom's from out here. She's from Trinity Beach. It's like a dream come true for her to be able to see her son playing for the Jaguars. So it'll be something special. A lot of my family will be around, and couldn't ask for anything better.
A neat experience for Davis as he gets the opportunity to play football in front of his family. Catch all the action of the Jaguars' preseason opener right here on 1010XL. Pre-game coverage will begin at 2, followed by kickoff at 7. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frank Frangie, JJ LaSelva. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, the Jaguars are off today. No practice, but that didn't stop them from making some transactions. The team has signed safety Adrian Amos, a veteran, 31-year-old, has started 125 games in his career, has 10 career picks and 6 sacks. So I would anticipate Amos is here with Wingard's knee injury that Doug Peterson has said was going to keep him out a while. The Jaguars also signed defensive tackle Jonathan Marshall. They released Adam Gotsis and Gregory Jr.
Yeah, first for the safety position, Dewey matters now. Dewey's a guy that's a leader. He's part of the heart and soul of that team. He's a good player. We all were at the practice a week or so ago when he had the 2 picks at the goal line. He's a good player, and I think he was being counted on. Remember now, Andre Sisco's still a sort of young player. Antonio Johnson's a very young player. Dewey gave him the veteran leadership at the safety position that you don't have as much now. Darnell Savage has played, but he's going to be a nickel, so you had to go get a veteran safety, so I get that. And it's a crowded defensive tackle room, man. I'll see what Marshall can do, but it's a crowded room right now, and I like a crowded room. That's a position you rotate a lot of guys in and out, so I like the way it feels.
Absolutely. Let's get it around the NFL and get it to 49ers receiver Brandon Ayuk, who is once again at the epicenter of a potential blockbuster trade. The 49ers seem to be at least having productive conversations with 3 teams, the Browns, Steelers, and Patriots. Frank, where do you think is the best fit for Ayuk, and which of those 3 teams could use him the most?
Yeah, it started out with 4, but the word was out that the 49ers really didn't want to trade him in the conference, so the Commanders kind of fell out of play. So it left the Patriots, the Browns, and the Steelers. I think the Browns are the better of the 3 teams. The Browns have Deshaun Watson. The Steelers have Russ Wilson and Justin Fields. Obviously, the Pats are going to play a young quarterback, likely Drake May. I think will wind up ultimately being their quarterback there. My gut tells me the Browns. And when I think about all 3, the Steelers need receivers the most of all those. They just don't, other than Pickens, they don't have much out there. But my gut, I just don't see the Steelers making that kind of a blockbuster deal. It's just not how they're wired. I don't think remember, he's got to agree now, Hays, to an extension. They're not whoever they trade him to has got to be a team that he's already agreed to an extension with. I don't think he's going to want to go to the Patriots, who are going to be a while before they're good. And I don't think the Steelers are the type team that makes a deal like that. So if I'm guessing, I'm going to guess the Browns. What about you?
I think it's a good guess. I would go with Cleveland as well, and that makes it one of the, again, kind of a forgotten contender in the AFC, even though they had a fine year last year, made the playoffs, made it with Joe Flacco. They have this unbelievable defense. So if they could add Ayuk, and I would agree that I would think for the player that would make the most sense. So I would say that Ayuk will be a Brown if, in fact, he does get traded. We're staying with the 49ers on the injury front. Christian McCaffrey, the all-star running back, has a calf strain and will not play in the preseason. Not playing in the preseason, that's no big deal. But the calf strain's got to concern you at least a little bit.
Yeah, they take forever. Groins and calves, there's some of those soft tissue things that take forever to heal. At some point, he's going to be okay. Look, if you're Christian McCaffrey, you'd rather be dealing with it August 6th than September or October 6th. But I agree. That's the kind of thing that can linger. And again, you don't play till the second week of September. But, yeah, that thing could linger. There's no question.
Rookie receiver for the 49ers, Ricky Pearsall, the former Gator, is battling a shoulder injury. So Pearsall just recently got healthy from a hamstring, now battling a shoulder. So it'll be interesting to see if Pearsall gets left behind or if he's able to, maintain his kind of his role in whatever role that is. But I would imagine at least some significant role being a first-round pick.
Well, not only that, but it's now to the point the note you made a minute ago, or you brought up a minute ago, it's now looking more clear than ever that Brandon Ayuk's not going to be on that team. I mean, he drew a line in the sand, and it was a real line. For whether he's right or all it was, he didn't want to play the fifth-year option. Well, the fifth-year options, you got to play on it. It's the way the league works. And most players realize that I've got to wait till my 6th year. That's just how it is. He said, no, I want to be paid or I'm not going to play. So, that line he drew in the sand is a real one, which means a guy like Ricky Pearsall, who they had high hopes for anyway, Hays, really matters this year.
No doubt about it. Let's get it to the Houston Texans. They suffered what could have been a really significant injury today. Right tackle Titus Howard had to be carted out of practice today. The 28-year-old Howard has started 61 games for the Texans at right tackle.
Yeah, they've got a good team. But everybody's the attrition happens in the middle of August, doesn't it? For a myriad of reasons, and that would be a big one. That would be a big loss for Houston, who expects to be very good offensively, but you got to block, no question.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that as we get a clearer picture of the severity of that. Let's get it to the Olympics. Team USA, the men's basketball team, crushing Brazil in the quarterfinals. It is 79-55. Right now, Joel Embiid having an outstanding game. He had 14 points to lead the U.S. last I checked, and LeBron had 10 points with 8 assists a few minutes ago. So we'll see if maybe those numbers have even improved. But the good news is, looks like Team USA well on their way to a semifinal appearance.
It really is interesting that they just seemed ordinary. I mean, they beat South Sudan on a LeBron shot at the buzzer in the pre-tournament when they were just playing the exhibition games. And boy, once the lights went on for real, they've been almost dream team-like. Not quite, but they have been, in terms of result. No, I'm not saying they're as good as a dream team. I'm saying their results have been similar. I mean, they are rolling everybody. It is 81-57 now, and this is in the medal round. So yeah, they're playing at a great level. I can't wait to watch the next one. I thought this would be competitive. I really did.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be fun seeing how they fare in the semifinal. Let's get it to soccer as we stay with the Olympics. The U.S. women's soccer team beats Germany 1-0 to advance to the gold medal game.
I would say, I said this earlier in the program, the two teams, not individuals, the two teams that people know the best that play out of America are the women's soccer team and the men's basketball team. And they're both playing today. The women have advanced to the finals. They're trying to win the gold medal. The men are going to be in the semifinals, the men's basketball team, after this game. So big day for American team sports.
No doubt about it. Let's get it to Major League Baseball. The White Sox lose their 21st straight game, matching the AL record for futility.
And I'm telling you, I know it happened 100 years ago, but there's more there's not as many great players as there used to be, but there's more good players than ever. This team has Luis Robert is a really good player. Gavin Sheets is a good player. They've got one of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball in Crochet. It's amazing to me they found a way to lose this many games. Something's not right there. And even the lousy teams, lose 8 in a row, 6 in a row. They go 1-9 in a 10-game stretch. They go 2-7 in a 9-game stretch. But they don't go 0-21. It's really become kind of bizarre.
Might be time for a players-only meeting in Chicago.
You think now's the time? Don't wait too late. Is that kind of the message?
Right, absolutely. We got a college football note for you. The rapper Pitbull has bought Florida International University stadium naming rights. It's a 5-year deal in which the rapper will pay FIU $1.2 million annually. He gets other concessions as well, but how about that?
One guy, he just put his name on it.
Pitbull.
It's not a company. I'm putting my name on it.
Yep.
Okay? It's like, the word on the street is, Bowles has always been named Donovan Stadium, but you got a bid in. Is that true?
I've
Carlyon
got
Stadium.
And I feel like $38 is a strong bid.
Would you do the hyphen?
Yeah.
Carlyon Donovan Stadium, would you do that, or just you want it all? You might want it all.
I'd kind of think I'd want the whole thing.
You'd take it all.
Yeah,
Carlyon Donovan Stadium is what I see. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it to media. Charles Barkley says not only will he not retire, but he is going to stay with TNT. I don't really know what
do they have?
He'll be talking about, but at least for now, Sir Charles says
I also don't believe him.
He's going to stay with TNT. I kind of don't either. I think he's just been sort of caught up in the whirlwind. So first it was, well, I'm going to retire. Now it's, well, I'm not going to retire, but I'm going to stay with TNT. And then ultimately it's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to Amazon for $30 million a year.
If he does stay with TNT, don't they have to build some show around him? Don't they have to do the Barkley show?
He referenced that, like, in the interview. It was with Dan Patrick, by the way. And he's like, I'm looking forward to the stuff that I'm going to be doing with Turner even outside of basketball, like the shows we have in the future. So
I mean, I'll be honest. If they put him on at 11:30 on TNT, I'd watch it. I mean, I'm not up at 11:30. Who am I kidding? But I mean, I'm not saying he's going to get the ratings that the Fallon and Kimmel's get, but you got to believe some people would watch it, right? He's funny as heck. He's always funny. If TNT put him on at 11:30, you'd take a look-see, wouldn't you?
You probably would, but if I was Barkley and advising him, I'd say let's get away from TNT and let's get you with one of these other three that actually has the NBA.
Right.
And
I agree with that.
And go in that direction. But we'll see. We'll see what Barkley decides to do. We're gonna get you out on a somber pop culture reference today. Rest in peace to actor Charles Cyphers, who died at 85 today. Cyphers is a name not many of us know, but he played the general manager in one of our favorite movies, Major League. JJ's got a clip of his work for us.
Who is that? Must be Serrano. Defected from Cuba. Wanted religious freedom.
What's his religion?
Voodoo.
Cyphers was also a part of 3 Halloween movies as Sheriff Brackett, so a great character actor, dead today at 85.
And I will tell you, he had some of the best scenes in the movie, okay? I mean, some of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah. His best line isn't even really a line when Rachel Phelps, the evil owner, tells him, "Sit down, Charlie," and he just looks at her and goes,
Is he the one of the people in the room that said, some of these guys are dead?
No,
because
he already
cross him off the list.
Right.
She goes, well, cross him off then.
Yeah, he's in the room of that scene, but he is not the one that asked that question.
That's probably my favorite line in the movie.
Oh, it's so great.
Well, cross him off then.
Absolutely. So Charles Cyphers, rest in peace. And today, for our musical number, we honor the late Rick James, who died on this day back in 2004 at the age of 56. This is Super Freak, which James released in 1981.
Great song.
The song had a rebirth in 1990 when MC Hammer sampled it for You Can't Touch This. An important song with an important message from a vital artist. Rest in peace, Rick James, giving us one of the best party songs of all time.
Great song. Really great song and a great act. No question about
Absolutely.
it. Great Rick James. Well done as always. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about the Knowles and Clemson coming back, and I want to tell you a little bit about these crazy rules in the NFL. But we'll start with talking a little bit Florida State football. Ira Schofel joins us. It's our National College Football Insider. How the Knowles doing at practice? We'll talk about it after this.
It's the ride home with with The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You're in the pole position with 1010XL.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing.
This Sunday at Richmond, brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Embrace the start of football season with MyBookie. It's time to get in on the action before these lines start to move. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And if you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus up to $1,000. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Gators are a 2.5-point underdog in the Swamp against the Canes. The over-under is 54 points. FSU is an 11.5-point favorite over Georgia Tech in Dublin with an over-under of 55.5. And the Jaguars, a 3.5-point underdog at the Dolphins. The over-under is 49 points. There are tons of cool prop bets as well. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it's a bonus up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Attention men and women, if you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
We will be perfect.
Training camp.
You drop a pass, you run a mile.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL. Get daily training camp coverage brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Perfection
on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers, how does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound, and a signing bonus? Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
I'm Mark Cohen, new publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal, and I'm thrilled to rejoin the community. This event of the year is quickly approaching. The Fast 50 Award celebrates the fastest growing companies in Northeast Florida, August 15th at 3:30. Join us for an unforgettable afternoon of mingling with Northeast Florida trailblazers, high-level networking, and learning where these companies stand. Time is ticking and tickets are flying off the shelf, so grab yours before August 13th. JBJEvents.com.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Florida State Seminoles had their first live scrimmage on Saturday night in Doak Campbell Stadium. As we are now just 18 days out from the Noles' first game against Georgia Tech, here's what head coach Mike Norvell had to say.
The guys' first time in Doak, it was great. There was some nerves, there was some buildup. The kind of things that you want. We tried to create a little bit of of an atmosphere. Obviously, being a close scrimmage, but you still, when you're in Doak at night, it's definitely something that these guys they get geared up for.
Getting some live reps in the stadium is a big deal for the team as new players begin to acclimate to playing in a new environment before they play an actual game inside the stadium. Just a few more practices for the Noles before they head to Dublin, Ireland. It's 80 degrees at 4:58. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time now for the College Football Insider, brought to you by the law firm of Woolsey Morecambe on The Frangie Show.
All right, first one of the year. We thank our friends from Woolsey Morecambe. We certainly appreciate that. And we're kicking it off. It's time to start.
Every week.
You ready to talk about college football? Do you like college football?
I do like college football. Yeah, we've never really talked about it, but yeah, college football is I give it a thumbs up.
You do.
I think it's really good. What about you?
You can't. When I ask a dumb question,
I can't follow it.
Don't come back to it. Don't come back.
Yeah.
But we are waiting. JJ, let me know when we are ready to go here, and we will bring in our first guest of the year. It's my friend Ira Schofel from WarChant.com, who does a fantastic job covering the Seminoles, and he's going to join us. The Seminoles coming to town, by the way.
Yeah.
They wrapped up practice today, practice 11, and in Tallahassee, and I love what they do when they come to UNA. It's a great plan. You expose your team to one of your best markets. I think it's a great idea the way they do it.
Well, they're the state champs, so they should start us off, and they've probably got the best chance of any team in the state to really make a deep run in the playoffs. So fittingly that we start off with the Noles.
JJ fired up.
Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Now I can say hello to my pal Ira Schofel, who joins us from WarChant.com. Ira, how are you, man?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We are doing fantastic. All right, love it. We love it when they come over here. Are you coming over? You coming tomorrow, by the way?
Yeah, I'm actually heading over tonight. They'll practice in the morning, so yeah, I'll be there for 2 days.
Yeah, I love the way they set it up. It's a cool little field they're on. They're not on that big field. They're on a cool field, and I hope it dries out a little bit for you guys. By the way, Ira, it has been raining like crazy over here, so hopefully it'll dry up. Hey, give me a quick snapshot. 11 days in. A lot of expectations. The Noles are back on their usual perch. It's been a while. What have you seen from 10,000 feet? Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. But it is it's going to look different than it did a year ago. Obviously Jordan Travis to DJ Uyunglele is a different approach offensively. DJ probably isn't as proficient at some of the underneath stuff. He's not quite as accurate, pinpoint accuracy as Jordan Travis kind of became, but he's got a huge arm. He's able to expand the field. He can really hit any throw on the field, so that's going to put some pressure on defenses. But the receiving core isn't as good as it was last year. You know, Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson and Jaheim Bell at tight end. They don't have those kinds of receivers right now, at least ready to perform on Saturdays. So I think you're going to see them a little bit more ground-oriented. But I think the defense is going to be probably close to as good or maybe better. We'll see this season than it was a year ago. So it'll be similar but different.
Hi, Ira. It's Hays Carlyon. Great to talk with you again, and thank you for joining us. Let's talk about the offensive line. What do you see so far from that Noles offensive front?
It looks good, and to be honest with you, you know, last year we kind of thought it would be good because they brought in a couple of transfers that had a lot of college experience, and we were thinking that a couple of the guys that had been on the offensive line would be healthy. But one of those, Robert Scott, who had started before at tackle, went down with an injury in camp, so he wasn't really available. And then one of the transfers they brought in at guard wasn't really what they thought he was going to be. He just didn't materialize. The other one didn't win a starting job either, a guy they brought in out of Auburn. So it's just kind of that transfer class of offensive linemen didn't really push them as high as people thought they would be. This year, I think they're going to be much better than they were a year ago. A couple of those guys now are in their second year. Jeremiah Byers at tackle, Keandre Jones at guard. Those guys are now in their second year at Florida State after being at their prior schools for 3 or 4 years. Then they've added, they went out and got a couple of Richie Leonard from Florida, who was a starter at guard for Florida. T.J. Ferguson, who was a reserve at Alabama. Jacob Rizzi, who was a starter at Harvard. And then they also have a bunch of returning guys. So that offensive line, I think, is going to be the strength of the offense, the offensive line in the running back room. And I think you're going to see them lean on people a little bit, especially early this season as they try to get the passing game going.
Ira, defensively, FSU over all those years was known for so many athletic players. My first thought was, and you were on with me about a month ago, we had this conversation, but my first thought was, gosh, they lost so many freaking really good players to the NFL. But I used to always say this about Alabama. It's not who you lost, it's who's back. And Patrick Payton's back, and Darrell Jackson, who's been around forever. The one-time Miami Hurricane is back, and I think Josh Farmer's a good player.
Right.
I get the sense that the awful cliche reload, not whatever. They're still pretty good over there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they really are. The one question mark, I had, and a lot of people had, really was maybe a linebacker, because in the secondary you bring back basically 3 starters. Shaheem Brown at safety was a starter last season. He's back. Ventrell Cypress, one of the starting corners, he's back. And then Azarie Thomas was basically a third starter at cornerback last year. So he played a ton of snaps, but he wasn't officially a starter. But really, those 3 guys are basically returning starters. Defensive line, as you said, Josh Farmer, Darrell Jackson, Patrick Payton. They bring in Marvin Jones Jr. They got a couple other transfers in. So that group, I think, is going to be solid. Question was linebacker. And I think from the first couple weeks of camp, I've been impressed. I think they really got a late addition that was probably under the radar. One more transfer from the SEC, Cam Riley, who's a former starter at Auburn, but last year he lost his starting job. They had a change in coaching staff, and he lost his starting job, played kind of as a reserve, and then he went in the portal in December, but he actually committed to NC State originally and moved to Raleigh while he finished his classwork, but didn't like it there or thought the opportunity at Florida State would be better. So he transfers to Florida State this summer. And he's been a big difference. To me, he looks like an SEC linebacker, and they have some other nice pieces there. But I think he takes that linebacker group to a different level. And now, okay, you got a good defensive line, really good secondary, and the linebacker position seems better than we thought. So yeah, I think that defense is going to be really good.
The opener is in 18 days, so rapidly approaching. How will Mike Norvell approach the trip over to Dublin? When are they leaving to head over?
Yeah, they're actually not going until Thursday. I think Georgia Tech's doing the same thing. And from what and you guys have a lot more experience with international trips than I do for football, but they, from what I understand, you either go a week early or you go kind of close to the game, and the both teams are going on Thursday, and so they'll basically fly in on Thursday, do some walkthroughs on that day and Friday, and then play the game and get. So they're going to say Florida State's actually going to stay one extra day to just sightsee on Sunday and then come back because they have the Monday night Labor Day game the week after that. But yeah, they're not going to be there long. I guess the idea is your body clock doesn't even need to change. You're kind of in and out. But I thought they'd be there longer. But yeah, it's going to be getting in Thursday and playing on Saturday.
I know that trip like the back of my hand, bro. Okay, we've done that one about every way you can do it. We've gone. The Jags have gone for a week. The Jags most recently they're playing 2 games there. I will tell you this: when there's only one game, when you're only playing the one game, I think the Jags found out it was better to do what the FSU's doing. Is go in Thursday and get out. Now that was a Sunday game, not a Saturday game.
Yeah, that's the thing. They play Sunday. But that's pretty tight.
Yeah, it is. But they would go. But the point is, don't spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
Go in and play and get out of there. So when are you going about? You going? You're going, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to. Fortunately, we're working it out. My wife's going to go for our anniversary, so we're going to go. We're going to be there about 9 days. We're going to go. The game's the 24th. We're going on the 18th, and we're going to stay till the 27th. So it should be nice.
Are you going to West Ireland at all? You going anywhere other than Dublin?
Yeah, well, we're going to go to Galway, and then we're going to do the first 2 days. We're going to do in Galway, and then we're going to go down to Cork because my family apparently hails from there on my mom's side.
Yeah,
and then we're going to try to get up to Northern Ireland, but we haven't identified exactly when we're going to do that.
Well, I can tell you what, my wife went with me last year. And we did Galway and Shannon and Ennis and the Cliffs of Moher and all that. So I'll give you the lay off the air. I'll give you the lay of the land. I promise I'll do that.
Please do.
What about the fact that the target is on FSU now? Well, what about the fact that they've kind of replaced? And you and I have talked about this a lot, but for today's listeners, the fact that they've sort of replaced Clemson as the team to beat in the ACC. Will they handle that well? It's a different paradigm for them, Ira. How does that all play out in your mind?
Yeah, I think what's tricky about it, last year, that team was so confident because that team returned so many guys from the team that had won 10 games the year before. So, obviously, Jarian Jones, who came over there, Renardo Green, and those got not Braden Fiske had come in for 1 year, but he obviously was confident in himself, Keon Coleman. They just had a lot of confident guys. They felt like all season they were the best team in the country. This team's trying to adopt that mentality, but you have a lot of guys who haven't really done it. They've got it's a weird team in that I think in some positions they actually have more talented players than maybe what they lost, the guys that got drafted, but they haven't done it. Marvin Jones Jr. is off the charts athletically, 6'5", 250 pounds, can run like the wind, but he was a part-timer at Georgia. He's never had to be the guy. They have another guy, Earl Little, in the secondary, same type of thing. They've got and then a couple of guys on the team who have been, on the team and played key roles, as Zaria Thomas, as I mentioned before, but they haven't been the guy, the star. So it's going to be different. I do think, to your point, I think they're going to talk a good game. I think they're going to want to embrace the mentality last year's team did. But this team is a little bit different because you have a lot of guys who this will be their first time really having to back it up.
What kind of challenge do you think Georgia Tech will give them?
I think Georgia Tech's offense definitely is a concern. They really found themselves in the second half last season. They've got a hard-nosed head coach who wants to run the football. They've got a quarterback in Haynes King who he's built for what they want to do offensively. A really good runner, athletic. Now that gives you numbers. Florida State fans have enjoyed having Jordan Travis as a running threat the last few years. Well, now you're going to see the other side of it. I mean, Haynes King wants to run. He'll have a bunch of 100-yard games this season. And then they've got some other nice weapons around him. So I think Florida State's defense is going to be tested in that game. On the flip side, their defense was atrocious last year, and I don't think they made enough changes in terms of bringing in new guys to have a dramatic effect. The coaching's a little bit different, so we'll see. But I think Florida State's biggest, the key for Florida State is score some points, make Georgia Tech feel like they've got to get out of their comfort zone. But if you don't play well offensively and they're running the ball and controlling the clock, that really would play into Georgia Tech's hands. Ira
Schofel with us from warchant.com, talking old football, the first National College Football Insider of the year for us. Ira, how do you see the league? I mean, FSU, then Clemson, then Miami is what everybody thinks. Is there a sleeper in there? People kind of like NC State, it looks like. How do you see the conference?
Yeah, I think NC State's the other team I would put in there just because they got a really good quarterback. They've obviously got a program there. He's got a program in place where when they bring in transfers, they assimilate quickly. They've actually brought in some Florida State guys in the last few years. They've done well there as well. That's a team, and I think their schedule sets up well for them, just like Louisville did last year with their schedule. I think to me it's still Florida State and Clemson, though. I'm not going to believe in Miami until Miami that proves that they should be believed. I mean, how many years have we done this where we've gone into a season and thought Miami should be a contender, and then it doesn't happen? So we'll see. I think, that early game against Florida is going to have a huge determination on what kind of season they have. If they lose that game to a team with a coach on the hot seat and a team with an over-under of, 4.5 wins, if Miami goes and loses that game, I think they could be in danger of him, how much control does he have over that locker room? Now, if they win it and they get going, they could be 5-6-0, something like that, and have all the confidence in the world. So that Miami, to me, I still don't trust them, but they definitely have the talent to be in the conversation.
Ira, where do you see things right now with Florida State and the ACC from the grant of rights legal battle?
I mean, I still think they're going to get out in the next year or two. I don't know what I've never been able to nail down, and none of the people I talk to in terms of people who might know or would know are not going to tell me because they don't want to get it out there. But they just from over a year and a half now, they've been very confident that they're going to get out, that they're going to have a place to go, and that they will not be in the ACC much longer. I think by 2025 is still possible. Outside maybe 2026, and that they get into a new conference. How much they have to pay, where they end up getting in, I don't know for sure. I have to believe, as confident as they seem when I talk to them, that they believe it's going to work out. And my guess is it's not going to cost $500 million. Maybe it costs $150, $200 million. But I do think they're going to get out within the next couple of years. I just don't see Florida State and Clemson in this conference much more than 1 or 2 more years.
Ira Schofel from warchant.com. Ira, will be good to see you over here tomorrow, and we will. If I don't see you, we will catch up before you head across the pond. I promise you that. Ira, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right, Ira Schofel from warchant.com, all-time good guy, and really, really knows the Noles well. I mean, he's got his finger on the pulse, and I'm glad he's taking that trip. It's a trip we took last year. You go to
really cool.
Western Ireland and Northern Ireland. It's a beautiful part of the world.
18 days away.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
I mean, Florida State football is 18 days away.
And I will tell you, it's for us, it's a noon kick. What a great way to start college football season. Yes. I mean, it's a blue blood. It's a game that won't be super easy. FSU is going to win that game, but it won't be easy. I think the line's 12, give or take. It's not 23. It's 12. And so I think it's a noon kick here to kick off the college football season.
That is really amazing that they're landing Thursday.
I know.
And playing. That's a quick
turnaround.
Now, these are college kids.
Yeah.
And their body is certainly built to adjust to the jet lag and everything, but that is the Jaguars have never had that.
Yeah, they've had one more day.
Window.
Yeah, they've had Jaguars.
And that one day makes a big difference on your body. It
Jaguars have flown, and again, I've done it 10 times now. The Jaguars have done a lot of different ways, but when it was only one game, the trip would be leave at 5:30 or so, Jacksonville time. Arrive essentially at 7:30 or 8 London time. So you're there and you don't go to bed. You go right to practice. You go right through your Friday practice, and then you sleep through the night, and then you try and get your body adjusted. But to your point, you have that whole Saturday to get ready, and then you play the Sunday. The Noles, I'm guessing they're going to leave earlier. I'm going to guess that if they're leaving Thursday, I wouldn't think it's Thursday night. I wouldn't think they'd do the fly overnight thing.
But I think that's almost the only way you can get there.
To get you, yeah.
I don't think they accept you. I don't think I think it's hard to fly to.
Even on a charter, you can.
Well, maybe. I mean, charter, I'm sure you can manipulate it some.
I would think on a charter but we'll see. I don't know.
I still think normally you're flying through the night and landing in the morning.
If they do that, then it is going to be tough because then you're talking about. And again, let's say Florida State flies Thursday night. Gets in at 1 or 7 in the morning, you're going to want to go do your walkthrough then. You're not going to want to go. They tell us don't go to bed.
Yeah,
you'll never get caught up, and I'm an idiot that does. But they do their walkthrough right then. So go do your walkthrough, and then have dinner, and then go to bed at what is then 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock Dublin time, and so but then you play the next day. Yeah,
it sounds like Georgia Tech's doing the exact same thing, so neither team will have an advantage in it. But I am surprised it's that they're landing that close to kickoff.
Yeah, interesting stuff. We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about NFL, the new rules in the NFL. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Realtors. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. The U.S. men's basketball team is having no problems in their quarterfinal matchup against Brazil. Right now with 5:23 to go, the U.S. is on top, 106-78. Kevin Durant with 11 points in that game. He's now the all-time leading scorer in Team USA history. The American beach volleyball duo of Sarah Hughes and Kelly Cheng has been eliminated in straight sets. Hughes and Cheng fell to Switzerland 21-18 and 21-19. A pair of gold medals for the U.S. on the track today. Gabby Thomas took the top spot in the women's 200 meters, while Cole Hocker upset the favorites to win gold in the men's 1,500 meters. And Amit Elor added to the U.S. gold medal count with a win in the women's 149-pound wrestling final. The Americans' 24 gold medals are the most of any nation competing at these games. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. To move closer to family, live within a smaller budget, or just wanting a change of scenery. Whatever your reasons, having to figure out all the various housing market trends in your area may not be what you signed up for. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. Realtors have the expertise to help you find the right price and navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. That's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Hodges Mazda, what Mazda moves you? Find out. Lauren Brooks here. Come test drive the Mazda CX-90, engineered to fit your lifestyle. Take advantage of 1.9% APR for up to 72 months on a 2024 Mazda CX-90, the largest three-row SUV that Mazda offers. Our professional non-commissioned sales team always puts your best interest first, and you'll get 2 years free maintenance. Visit Hodges Mazda today or shop online at HodgesMazda.com to discover the Hodges Mazda difference. See dealer for details. Terms and fees for qualified applicants expire September 3rd, 2024.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hays. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Hays Carlyon for Kingfish Pest Control. Are mosquitoes turning your outdoor fun into a full contact sport? It's time to call in Kingfish Pest Control. I can tell you from my own experience, they are the MVPs of mosquito elimination. Call Kingfish Pest Control today and get an unbeatable 50% off your first treatment. That's right, sign up for a full season of lockdown coverage and get 50% off your first treatment. Don't let mosquitoes steal your home field advantage. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with
PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Barry Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Barry at Barry Orthopedics.
Join the fun with XL Primetime, Friday at Firehouse Subs in San Marco. Get pictures and autographs from Jags players, cheerleaders, and Jacksonville. 2 to 4 Friday at Firehouse Subs in San Marco.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
What's up? I'm Miles.
Hey, and I'm Jara.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Maple Pepper Bacon Sandwich is how the flavors come together. First, I taste the smoky grilled chicken, then the pepper bacon with that maple bun, added with the sweet heat and the pickles.
I'm really sold on the pickle. It meets you in the middle with the sweetness and the heat.
It's spice-tastic.
Yum-licious.
Flavoristic.
The sandwich of the summer. The Maple Pepper Bacon Sandwich.
Order the Maple Pepper Bacon Sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Make a point about the Knowles and Clemson coming up in just a bit, about 10 minutes or so. But I want to get to the NFL for a second. So have you studied this whole kickoff thing? I mean, you paid a lot of attention to. We all watched it in the Hall of Fame game. I mean, I'm serious about this. Some of the rules, the nuance.
No, not really. I remember reading something like if the ball bounces in the zone but then rolls into the end zone versus if the ball's just kicked through the end zone. And frankly, I don't remember much of it.
All right, so if I understood this they gave us, here's how it works. First of all, they line up the 10 yards apart in plus territory. The kicker is the kicker and a holder, and if the holder has to come out, he runs off the field. You knew that. They line up. The kicker kicks off from whatever, 30, 35, wherever he kicks off. The two teams, 7. So the 10 of the guys on the kicking team have to be on the opposing 40-yard line or wherever it is. I think it's the 45-yard line. The 9 of the receiving players have to be between the 30 and the 35. 7 have to be on the 35, and 2 can be back a little bit, and you can have 2 return people. Hayes, 2 people, I think, from each team have to be outside the numbers. Okay? You have to be lined up at a certain spot. And here's the kickoff thing. You're trying to land it in the landing zone, which is the goal line to the 20. That's the landing zone. If the kick hits in the landing zone, and you're supposed to field it, if the kick hits in the landing zone, and goes into the end zone, the touchback comes out to the 20.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes into the end zone in the air, it goes over the landing zone, it comes out to the 30. If it doesn't make the 20, which is never going to happen,
right,
comes out to the 40. I mean, it's crazy.
If the moon is in waxing,
right.
get this.
So that's kind of how it works. And I didn't realize that. So I kept thinking teams are going to just kick it out of the back of the end zone and start at the 30. But I don't think they're going to now. I think they're going to try and get the other team to return it. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of balls flying into the end zone. I really don't. They did show this. We all by now know the why they're doing this. They've got to cut down on injuries, but they don't want to cut down on injuries by getting rid of the play. So they showed a stat last year when there were all the touchbacks, like there was like no returns. They cut back on injuries like 47%.
Mm-hmm.
There's more concussions on kickoffs. Did you know this?
Yeah.
By far than any other play. I didn't know that though. But there's by far more concussions on kickoffs than any other play in football. Like twice as many, which I did not know.
I think the originators of football were actually trying to get concussions and how they set up the kickoff.
But it's twice as many.
It's medieval. I mean, you're running at each other, for basically 50 yards at full speed. Yeah, that's going to be violent when you hit the other guy.
So they've taken that out of play, but they don't want to get rid of them altogether. So it's really interesting. So again, kickoff into the end zone on the fly, comes out to the 30, bounces into the end zone after hitting in the target zone, comes out to the 20, doesn't reach the 20, comes out to the 40. You got to stay in your lane. And here's the one thing that, and I know you know this, you cannot have the only onside kick can come in the fourth quarter when you're behind and when you declare it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's never again a surprise onside kick.
Correct.
You can't have that. When you declare the onside kick, then last year's rules go into play. You have to have 5 on each side of the ball. You cannot call timeout and change your mind. I didn't realize that.
That is interesting.
It's like, okay, you line up for it on. You can line up for a 2-point conversion, call timeout, change your mind, and kick the extra point.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot do that on this. If you line up for the onside kick, there's going to be, and you declare the onside kick, you can have 74 timeouts left if you want, but you have to have an onside kick.
And you need a 2/3 majority for that onside kick to be ratified.
Yeah. But these are all rules. And here's the other thing. So what if you line up for the onside kick? This was crazy. But you try to pull a fast one, and you pooch it over the line, over everybody's head. So you pooch it 25 yards downfield. What happens then, Hays Carlyon, who hails from the Bowl School?
Well, if it doesn't make the landing zone, it'll come to the 40.
Okay, let me tell you what happens then. It is a personal foul, 15-yard penalty, and the ball goes to the receiving team.
Wow.
So if you try to cheat, if you try and like you're kicking off from the 30 or the 35, wherever they'd kick it off from, if instead you declare onside kick, but if the ball goes 25 yards untouched, it's a 15-yard penalty on the kicking team, and the receiving team gets the ball.
Ah, wow. Yeah.
So if you do, is it? Let's say it's the 30-yard line. I don't even know was it the 30? Okay. So it goes to the 15-yard line, and the other guy gets the ball.
Wow.
It's your 15.
So no one's doing that.
No. So nobody's doing that. It's just crazy. And again, I'm really glad they gave us this tutorial because that's a ton of stuff that I didn't know.
Right. And you've got to be an expert on it week one.
And our job is to educate the listeners with a play-by-play broadcast.
Right.
So it's really crazy. So the other thing is the hip drop tackle. And I didn't realize this either. The hip drop tackle has to have 3 or 4 components for it to qualify. First of all, you got to grab them with both hands, sort of from behind. Okay. Then you have to swerve your hips a little. Okay. You swerve your hips, and then you pull him down where you land on his legs. And we see it all the time. They showed a bunch of video and players getting so. If you grab the player from behind, hands around the wrist, you have to swerve your hips. And after swerving your hips, you then you pull him to the ground and you land on his legs. That's a 15-yard penalty. If you don't swerve your hips, it's not a penalty. If you don't land on his legs, it's not a penalty. But they were emphatic about how many injuries we saw because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, getting back to the kickoff, they had to do something. I commend them for it. I hope it works. This is the thing about experimentation, trial by error. This may not work. It may have to be, it's definitely going to be adjusted. It'd be a surprise if they nailed this 100% first time out. But hopefully it does at least put us down the road of the kickoff being back in play. Again, there were only 2 players in the NFL that qualified as kick return leaders last year, because you had to return at least 20, which is basically 1.1 a game. And only 2 players got there. And so they had to bring it back. I like the rule. I'm glad they've done it. It'll take some getting used to, but I do think it will be fun. And I ultimately think, unless you've got a kicker that can hit it in a great spot and have the ball bounce into the end zone, and obviously get the opponent starting at the 20, I think most coaches are going to say, we're not going to lose games because of this. Kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
And we will have them start at the 30.
And there's been a lot of thought that that's what's going to happen. There's a lot of talk, but now I really am starting to think that rather than that, you're going to see the ball in play. And I because it's just, because I think most teams believe they can cover it. The one thing you said a week or two ago that I think really makes a lot of sense, you made the point is there's no line of defense. If you break through, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Unless all of a sudden the kicker is a 4-4 guy, and news bulletin, they're probably not. So realistically, if you break through, it's a touchdown. So it'll be, I'm telling you, I got to admit now, I'm now more interested in it and learning as much as we did about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what is going to petrify enough head coaches that they just instruct their special teams coordinator to have the kicker just kick it out of the back of the end zone, because there just is no safety mechanism in place for you schematically. It's, if a guy does get blocked, if a guy slips, and again, they're not like running a great distance, but you can certainly lose your footing, taking your first few steps. If there's any kind of crease there at all and the returner hits it, they're gone. I honestly think you could have. Last year we had no. The 2 guys that qualified for kick return did not return one for a touchdown. This year I think you could see the leader have 5 or 6 of them. Particularly if teams really don't punt on the rule, and if teams are going to routinely kick and routinely allow their coverage team to make the tackle, I think you are going to see, it could be Devin Duvernay, but I think you're going to see a player with 4 or 5 of these things. And I just think these guys are too skilled. It just basically leaves you with all or nothing on a play, and we just don't do that in football. It's the equivalent of blitzing 11 guys.
Right.
It'd be the equivalent of literally blitzing 10 guys, but the one guy that you're not blitzing, the safety, is not a safety. He's a place kicker.
Right.
So he has about a 1 in 500 chance of somehow either making the tackle or pushing the returner out of bounds.
Right. And that's not going to happen very often. So we'll see. We'll take a break. When we come back, I do want to talk FSU Clemson, but the Jags have released their first depth chart of the year. The depth chart is available ahead of the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Not many surprises, but we'll go through some of this after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, Tarek Skubal of the Detroit Tigers is the betting favorite to win the American League Cy Young Award. Skubal is at minus 250, while Corbin Burns of the Baltimore Orioles is at plus 250. Seth Lugo of the Kansas City Royals is plus 1,100 to win the Cy Young. George Kirby of the Seattle Mariners plus 2,700. In the National League, Atlanta's Chris Sale, the betting favorite to win the Cy Young, at plus 110. Zach Wheeler of the Phillies plus 220. Rookie Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 240. And Hunter Green of the Cincinnati Reds is at plus 1,300. This update brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Hon, what do you say we go to the supermarket today?
Again? Weren't we just there yesterday?
Well, yeah, but it's just so nice and cool in there.
Why don't we just get our air conditioning fixed?
Can we afford it?
We can with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. They offer financing.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it will be.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Repairs to new installations. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
Hey folks, if you're looking for an automobile, this summer happiness is a brand new Chevy. Like a new Chevy Silverado from Nimnick Chevrolet. This month, you can save up to $10,000 off a new Silverado. For well-qualified buyers, you can get rates as low as 1.9% financing on all new Silverado 1500 models. With the largest inventory on the ground, outstanding cash incentives, and the best price guarantee, your perfect truck is waiting for you at Nimnick Chevrolet. Now remember, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade, and for a limited time, up to an additional $2,250 in trade assistance. What a great deal that is! And ask about our demo models for even deeper discounts. Shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership, conveniently located at the corner of Park and Cassett. Who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Get fishing tips and stories from Captain Kevin.
Bite's gonna pick up pretty soon.
On the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Whoa! Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lauren Brooks for Big Chief Tire. Summer is here, and that means road trips, beach outings, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your car can handle the heat with a visit to Big Chief Tire. Their skilled technicians will get your vehicle in top shape, ensuring it's ready for those summer road trips. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your summer checkup today.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and it is hot out there. You know that, Greg, but Honda has a plan for you on or off the road.
They do. There's a ton of Honda scooters, Honda mini motos, great for the beach. Also get you out in the woods with a Honda side-by-side. Plenty to do and stay cool.
Yeah, four-wheelers, and you can trick them out.
We can. From stereo systems to big builds, we do it all.
Everything's there for you to see. CyclesofJacksonville.com online or on Atlantic near Regency. Check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Michael Iorio, internal medicine physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Gabe Davis spoke on the impact he brings to the offense with his explosive playing style. The past few years in Buffalo, Davis has been Josh Allen's go-to deep ball target, which is something he looks to bring to Duval.
Once you install all the general things, I feel like all the other stuff that are add-ons are kind of game week situational. So it kind of makes it easy. I mean, you just study that week and you'll be fine with it. We've all played so much football, so it's not going to be hard to be able to adjust on with new plays or a new little system or something.
Davis caught 27 touchdowns in his 4 seasons with the Bills and is ready to bring a disturbing presence to secondaries with the Jags in his new offense, where adjusting should be no issue. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, where have we been today? As we went all around the place, we heard from Devon Hamilton, Hays Carlyon one-on-one, another one of those, which is absolutely fantastic. We talked a little bit about the Jags and that terrific defensive front they've got. A little bit about the Fox broadcast crew, how will Tom Brady do. We talked Florida State football with Irish O'Fell, and the Noles ready to play Georgia Tech in that Dublin game 18 days from now. And we even pointed out that it looks like the Noles and Georgia Tech will both go in there just a couple days before the game, which is interesting stuff. The U.S. men's Olympic team won easily in basketball over Brazil. They make it to the semifinals. The U.S. women's national soccer team beat Germany 1-0. They make it to the finals. They will play either Brazil or Spain for the gold. That's where we've been. A lot of fun stuff to talk about today. Let's wrap the program. Again, I want to get into the FSU Clemson conversation. I never got to it today. We just had a lot of stuff. We'll do it tomorrow. Which program's ahead and why, not just who's got the good team and the better team. I think they're two really good programs, so we'll talk about that coming up. Meanwhile, the Jags have a depth chart out that's going to trump everything. No surprise to me, Hays, as I look through it, the 3 starting receivers, according to the Jacksonville Jaguars. As expected, Brian Thomas Jr. joins Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk. The 2 tight end, they always show a 2 tight end set. Obviously, that's Evan Ingram and Luke Farrell is the other starter, as would be expected if they play 2 tight ends. The offensive line, Cam Robinson, Cleveland, Morris, Sheriff, Harrison. Again, they just released it for the first time today, Trevor and Travis Etienne in the backfield. Obviously, defensively, it's interesting. Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead in the middle. We expected that. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker outside, as expected. Foye Oluokun is the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker. The will is interesting. It lists Chad Muma over Devin Lloyd, and in the Sam, it lists Chad Muma over Yasir Abdullah. Makes me wonder.
What are we doing?
Yeah, so, I mean, you would think Devin Lloyd is the will linebacker.
Is Chad Muma Lawrence Taylor all of a sudden? I mean.
So my guess is Devin Lloyd would start next to Oluokun, and Muma would be the in the Sam. But anyway, that's just how it's listed. The secondary is more interesting. Darnell Savage, who I thought was going to come here and be the nickel, is listed as the starting free safety. Now, remember, Andrew Wingard got hurt, and so that probably changed some things back there. But at least for today, the starting cornerbacks, according to Jaguars.com, Tyson Campbell and Ronald Darby are the starting corners. Christian Braswell listed first at nickel. As of today, Christian Braswell listed first at nickel. The two starting safeties are listed as Andre Sisco and Darnell Savage. Antonio Johnson is a backup to Sisco. So that would the surprise to me is that Savage is not at nickel and that Antonio Johnson is not listed as the starter at safety. That's the only real surprise to me, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this isn't really what they've done. So I'm assuming it's just gamesmanship and kind of continuing the Ryan Nielsen, we don't really have a depth chart yet because a lot of this doesn't really line up. And so, again, it comes down to how serious are we going to treat a depth chart for a preseason opener.
But for the most part,
but I will say it is odd, some of the choices that are on here. What's interesting from
anything else surprise you other than those two things?
Yeah, like defensively, I would say that it looks like they're making a pretty big effort to bury the rookies. I mean, they've got Mason Smith and Jarian Jones listed as fourth teamers,
right?
Basically,
which is not going to be the case.
Which is not going to be the case.
Yeah.
So offensively, because Doug Peterson has never really messed around with this to his credit since he became head coach, like Brian Thomas Jr. is a starter on offense. He's listed as a starter. Javon Foster is listed as the backup right tackle. But then you move to the defensive side of things, and Mason Smith is listed behind guys that probably aren't going to make the 53. And so I mean the defense looks like they probably overthought this a little bit.
Right.
Exhibit A is Chad Muma occupying 2 spots. I would at least take the offense looks right. The defense looks like they are trying to
make a point.
Just flat out didn't take it all that seriously. I mean, who knows the explanation, but I'd be surprised if this is what Miami is going to be looking at week 1.
Yeah, in a couple spots. I mean, I would think that the starting defensive line is what you think Miami's going to look at.
Yes.
Mostly the linebackers, other than Lloyd and Muma,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Devin Lloyd is a starter on this football team.
Correct. And I would think the secondary is the only confusing thing. I wonder if the injury to Andrew Wingard made them decide to play Savage at safety, not nickel. And we'll ask Doug that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been out.
Yeah.
And they haven't really made any sort of obvious move to us to indicate that now we have to move Savage around. So again, who knows? Certainly they may have decided we're going to change course in the last day. I mean, this just came out, so I'm sure they had meetings today. The players are off, but the coaches and scouts, everybody's working. So who knows? Maybe this is a new approach. We will certainly ask Doug about it, but I would say kind of odd for what we've seen for 11, 12 days of this.
All right, so that comes out. So we'll certainly talk more about that as we go. It's been a good show today. Again, we are 5 days now from a football game in uniform, with the lights on, with people in the stands, with real tackling, and I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about what they're going to do. Again, the schedule by now. The Chiefs come in on Saturday. Next week, the Buccaneers come and practice with the Jags for 2 days. Wednesday and Thursday, they will practice together. The Bucs would get here, I'm going to imagine, on Tuesday night. They'll practice together Wednesday and Thursday. Both teams will have a walkthrough, I would imagine, on Friday. And then the Bucs and the Jags play a week from Saturday here. And then the last week, the Jags go to Atlanta for a Friday night game and back on Saturday. So, I mean, back on Saturday in time to watch the Knowles. I mean, that's how fast it goes,
It's going to be incredible. Another just quick note from a special team standpoint. So Devin Duvernay is listed as the primary punt and kick returner. That's no surprise. Interesting who his backups are. Parker Washington is the backup punt returner. Tank Bigsby is the backup kick returner. But they've talked about needing 2 guys, so I'm surprised Keelan Robinson isn't somewhere on there. But I would think Keelan Robinson will be more a returner than Bigsby, but we'll see. And certainly no surprise about Parker Washington. He did a little bit last year.
Right.
Didn't have great success with it, but
he's the
did
backup.
it in
But he was going to be
college
the backup punt
yeah.
returner. I think all along he was going to be. He'll go back there and catch it. I think when your primary punt, there's a lot of fair catches anyway. When your primary punt returner isn't out there and he's a good one, put a guy back there that'll catch the ball. You can't necessarily expect that all of a sudden you put a guy back there and it's going to be a guy that's going to be as good as your first guy, or even close to it. So, all right, let's say hello to Rick below.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
Rick Ballew's here. I was looking at the depth chart below. We got a depth chart. You get a depth chart, you've had a good day.
About time.
Yeah, we got a depth chart.
Took a little while. Adam Gotsis is no longer on it.
Yeah, that surprised you?
Yeah. I mean, I actually had him outside. I thought that Lacey would be the 9th guy and Gotsis, kind of the 10th. They've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I think changing around the backups of the interior defensive line and a starter with Eric Armstead. But, injury is always a concern. But, yeah, I thought that 8th or 9th spot would come down to Lacey or Gotsis. Lacey, I'll be honest, Gotsis really didn't show me too much so far in camp, and it doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't doing a good job. But Lacey has shined at times.
And it's a deeper room than it's been.
Yeah,
it's true.
no doubt.
What's coming up tonight?
Lots coming up tonight. Really looking forward to this week. It's going to be busy. The Florida State practice just got announced that now it'll move to that complex right on the other side of Daly's place.
Yeah.
They were going to be at UNF, but because of all the rain and Hurricane Debbie, so I'm going to be able to get that first hour into Jaguars practice tomorrow, then slide on over and watch the Knowles go. They'll be in town here Wednesday and Thursday. So with the game coming up on Saturday night back at the bank, it's going to be a real busy week here football-wise, and looking forward to getting on there and talking about everything that's going on.
Florida State in the Flexville. I didn't know that. So Florida State
it just came down moments ago.
Just got moved to the Flexville. All right, very good. Rick, thanks, buddy.
See ya.
Rick Ballou comes up right now. That'll do it for our program. Don't go anywhere. Rick goes into the night right now. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.